I'll tell you briefly how I started these things, how it started. I started a series of paintings that were about this big, and I worked on them for about a year and a half, something like that. And I had like 27 or 28 of them. And the idea that I had for those paintings was that I took a photograph and I collaged it on the surface of this stuff. It's called the soundboard. And the soundboard that I got from New York, I collaged that, then I painted it, and then I took a blowtorch and I burned holes through it. And so that's what you see here. That's what they look like. The problem is the original paintings burned up in a fire I had in my studio. So these are just photographs of those paintings, and they're black and white photographs. So basically, the black and white photographs I took and I painted on them like this. These are the same, essentially the same photograph. And then I painted on those. And then from that point, I took the image of each one of those paintings that I did, and I made big paintings like that one at the back, and that's one of them. So that was the process that I went through. The thing that's kind of ironic is that, you know, I had actually started painting images of these photographs before I had my fire. And the ones that I actually painted like that, I painted with oil paint. And there are all these paintings along here that go up to about right here. And this one was, this was after the fire. And the reason I can tell that so easily is that I started painting with acrylic and I stopped painting with oil paint because oil paint was the cause of my fire.
So your decision for materials or what kind of painting material you use was also influenced by what happened to your pieces?
Yeah, it did, ironically.
Do you intend to use photography further in the future?
Well, I kind of, photography to me is just like a tool. It's like a pencil or a paintbrush. I consider it something that I work with towards an end of achieving something that I'm looking for. But yeah, if photography is the answer, I'll use it. And if I feel like it's the answer, I'll use it. But if it's a paintbrush, I'll use that. I just, but it's no different than, collage or anything else. I don't think. I just try to develop something that I haven't seen, and if I can do it through photography, that's fine. To me, photography really it's not like photography in the sense that photographers use it. I don't use it necessarily as a finished product. I really use it as a sense of drawing. To me, it's just like drawing. Yeah, because basically I can take a picture of something. That's no different than if I'd made a drawing of a fire and then collage it on or something. It's just a different way of doing it. I've been painting for about 45 years, so I've done, I don't know, maybe 20 series of work or something like that, 25. And basically, whenever I use an image or as a series for work or something like that, it's kind of like, I kind of put it in my computer, so like in a file, and I can bring it out. I bring them out, and I use them with other images that I've used or stuff like that. Sometimes I combine them together. Sometimes I use them separately, but maybe in a different way. I think just like as an artist, you're always creating your own history anyway.
Years ago, you also painted paintings with depicting fire.
This one in particular, like this painting, you'll see that like the photograph itself is a photograph of a fire. Mm-hmm. Well, that's really symbolic of a series of paintings that I did of forest fires. And so that's why I use that painting.
Have you been influenced by any other artists in this series, or is it all from you?
Probably everyone I've ever looked at. I'm not. Picasso's the best example. I mean, he was the biggest robber of all. He took. It's the same kind of thing. I mean, you take all the great artists. They have enough confidence. They don't mind saying they took from everybody. It's always the ones that are a little self-conscious that are afraid to say where they got something, or if they got something from someplace else. in my case, with all these things, I don't know where they came from, but it would never surprise me if it came from another artist, because I just don't care where it comes from. You know, I just take it and make it mine. But the world's just, you know, the world's too small not to, you know, to see other artists' work and to be able to, you know, put it in some kind of context with your own work. And, you know, the idea of like looking at other artists and taking from other artists, you know, if that happens to me, I'm always flattered by it. I never mind. I mean, you know, and some people would be upset by it, but I would never be upset by it. It's kind of like the way people like Rauschenberg did with someone like William de Kooning. You know, he took a drawing of his, asked him to give it to him. De Kooning, because he was a young artist, thought, well, okay, I'll give this kid a drawing. And so Rauschenberg takes the drawing and erases it and signed it. That's just a different way of looking at it. In other words, basically what he was saying is de Kooning had such an enormous influence on me, I've got to do something. It's just a different way of dealing with it. You know, so many people are so, you know, kind of concerned with originality. And I always take the point of view, you show me a work of art that's original, and I'll show you where it comes from. Because there's nothing really original.
So could you also explain how you managed to gain the energy to do all this? Because I think this is amazing after something like this happens to someone, how
lots of sake.
But it's amazing how you turn that tragedy around into creativity and, you know, turn it around into something positive.
Well, you know, I don't think I know very many people who wouldn't do the same thing in that sense, because, you know, you only have two choices. You know, you can lay down or you can get up. So, you know, you're gonna, you know, it just depends on the person, I think, how a person looks at it. But I kind of look at everything as a chance to do something better. It's very much the way I feel about my painting. I never want to do a painting that I feel like I can't make it better than the last one. And I sure as hell don't like make a studio that I feel like I can't make it better than the last one. So it's kind of the same thing, you know, and with the work as well.
How long did it take you to complete this body of work?
Oh God, that's hard to say because my fire kind of, you know, interrupted part of it. But from the point of like when I started doing these until I finished those last year, and my fire was over 3 years. My fire was 3 years ago, and I started about 2 years before that. So, you know, maybe 5 or 6 years.
Looking at the fire, I know it was obviously devastating. What? Are there some things you can say that how it helped you as an artist afterward?
Well, I mean, I tell you, like I was kind of in shock the first 2 or 3 days. I mean, it was devastating. And after a couple of days, that's when I went and got my camera and just started taking photographs of it, because I thought it was so beautiful. I just had to detach my feelings from it, and just visually, it was just aesthetically, it was just great. I thought, beautiful. I mean, unfortunately, it was mine, but you know, that's the way I felt about it, and that's kind of the way I came to start dealing with it. And you know, after a couple of years now, I've gone by and stuff. The only thing I really miss, you know, I mean, first of all, I was damn lucky. Nobody got hurt. My neighbor didn't catch on fire. A lot of things that were really good about it. But the only thing that was really bad is that I had a lot of other artists' work that got destroyed, and that I couldn't replace. But I mean, this is the way I replaced it.
Right.
You know. I mean, my own. I couldn't do that with my friends or other art there. So that's the only thing that's still there that I can't do anything about.
Right. Powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go get a beer.
Sounds about right.